85-year-old retired teacher from Oxfordshire has requested that his name be cleared from police records over an allegation of hate crime after the Court of Appeal recently ruled that such a practice was an unlawful interference with freedom of expression. 85-year-old Douglas Kedge was reported by a Karen in Northumberland, who he wrote to after disagreeing with a letter she wrote to the Times newspaper. Thames Valley Police contacted Mr Kedge by telephone, explaining that they had been contacted by the Karen and that Mr Kedge's actions amounted to a hate crime. The allegation came in November 2020 after a newspaper published an article about a storyline in the ITV soap Emmerdale, in which two characters decided to terminate a pregnancy after discovering the child would have Down syndrome. The Karen wrote into the newspaper and responded with a letter saying that the episode was a deliberate attempt to perpetuate prejudice against Down syndrome children. Mr Kedge said he wrote to her at her home as he considered her views to be nonsense. Now, I know some of you are probably asking how he got her address. Well, for all the Karens out there watching this, please make sure your address isn't readily available to find online before being a dick. Mr Kedge said, "I found her address online and politely said that her comments were out of order and it was most offensive to the producers of Emmerdale. The next thing I know, I had a call from the police. She had said to them she had found a letter threatening and was uncomfortable with the fact that I found her address." He added that the officer who called him assured him the force believed no criminal offence had occurred, but asked for his date of birth as the incident had to be placed on public record. So there's no offence, but it's recorded on public record as a hate crime. Mr Kedge has now written to Thames Valley Police Chief Constable John Campbell following the Court of Appeal's decision in the case of Harry Miller in December, in which the court ruled that the College of Policing's guidance had been wrongly used and it had a chilling effect on Mr Miller's freedom of speech. Mr Kedge said, "I believe the Court of Appeal judgment goes a significant way in countering the current cult of self-determined victimhood. If this is the knock-on effect of the judgment, all power to it. This is not only about myself. Over the past 5 years, around 120,000 people have had non-crime hate incident records raised against them by police. They have all been regarded as suspects. As this is now deemed to be unlawful, will those who have been in any way harmed be able to sue for damages?" He added that it was a dangerous madness that the recording of non-hate crimes had become an accepted part of the criminal system. It is only a step away from what might be expected in an undemocratic, repressive regime. Who is responsible for this disturbing and deeply troubling situation? The violation of lawful free expression, he asks. Will they be named and held accountable? They certainly need to be. A spokesperson for A spokesperson for Thames Valley Police said, "We can confirm that although this was initially recorded as a hate crime, this was then no crime and no further action was taken from our perspective. Regarding what appears on a disclosure and barring service check, my understanding is that this would be for the College of Policing and the Home Office to comment on. Passing the buck there. Essentially, this was filed as no further action, as there was no crime." Now, that's like me essentially putting in a fraudulent claim for expenses in a company. I put the claim for expenses in, it gets recorded, but there was no expenses to be claimed. It's fraudulent. How is this any different? Especially as the police do this for personal gain or for the gain of the police. They do it so that boxes can be ticked and their force looks like it's taking out dangerous, bigoted, far-right prejudiced individuals. Just like 85-year-old Mr Kedge here. Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.